Hey guys, how's it going? May 12th, 2020. And I didn't sleep that much last night, but I'm awake.
Yeah.
So that's good. I actually feel better than I did last night at this time, which was kind of strange, but I think it has to do with, I don't know, either something I ate yesterday, which I ate worse things today, I think, but either that or just sinuses or whatever, but even the sinus headache has been going away, so allergies, sinus, I don't know what it is. I don't normally get that, but this year I've had it a few times. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, we're back in. Hope you guys have enjoyed the videos I've been popping up. There was supposed to be another one today that popped up, but it failed. And unfortunately, I lost it because I deleted it beforehand, thinking that everything was going to be fine when I got home, and I forgot that I deleted the file and I couldn't recover it.
Mistakes were made.
So, yo, Quincy, hey, what's up? So anyways, now, there's a couple things. I'm going to go to the forum first and foremost, while this wonderful music plays in the background. This was a post. I encourage anybody to come here. Railroad Transportation Simulator .fandom.com, and come on over if you watch my videos. Post in the forums. As this person here is anonymous. Other than the IP address showing, which whatever. That's not a big deal. Everybody's IP address shows, so it can't do anything that way, but that's what it does. Maybe that's what it shows on my end. If it does, I apologize. If that doesn't show on put it this way, let me know, if you guys are in here, let me know what it looks like if you get those IP addresses as well. I'm certainly want people to be anonymous and not worried about joining. I think that just does that for an identification purpose, nothing more. And there's nothing you have to worry about that showing. So what happens is he gave me a few links, and the first one was, let's see here. I saw both of these, but this shows the vehicle class. Now, what happened was I was talking about RTS. This breaks down everything, with the scripting and the class and all kinds of stuff. I could have a field day in there. I haven't gone to the scripting part of things yet. I don't want to get too far away from it. So I've got a few ways that I can go about doing this. The other way is this, and I knew about this, and I'm still not sold on it. Now this is like it sounds similar to what RTS is. Now I knew car movement and traffic management. In fact, the hump I have is CMTM. I believe it's 4 compatible. But I went through a lot of this manual last night. When I said I was doing research last night, I actually spent a large amount of time going into it. Now, I don't know if I understand it fully. It is very in depth. It is similar to RTS, yet very much more powerful in some ways. But it's also, if I'm pretty certain, there's a few things that are missing. Now I don't know if that's the limitations of the scripting language or something else, because I know you can do random things. You can create random events, random rules, all kinds of things. So perhaps there's a script that you can't get a random number from. I'm pretty sure there is. In fact, I don't know if this is
I wonder if you can alter the random number, though. I don't know.
Well,
Would that be possible?
Usually it's RND, but no, that's RND.
RNG.
No, so this isn't the entire syntax as far as I know, but I could be wrong. So this is the related messages. So this is the hierarchy. This is the vehicle. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to go into the index and see what there is. Full list of pages on the wiki, list of categories. All right, let's see what we got. So what I'm doing, so LOD, you can play around with that, the values. When they say members, that's not members like forum members or anything. Physics. I don't script class. Oh, I see. So we were into the class vehicle. There's the class of the signal, class of triggers. So here's the various class things. Game object.
Assets, bogies.
Yeah, I want to see the trigger for a minute.
Vocabulary.
I want to see what kind of triggers we have. So trackside related triggers. Enter, stopped, and leave. Now this is very important because sometimes I want to know when somebody has cleared an area. So that's kind of neat. But that's not what I'm looking for. Math. Could have something. Absolute. There it is, right there. Okay. So this is the key right here. Yeah. So it has a random number generator. You can't, just like I've said before in the past, you cannot run a random number generator sequentially. You have to seed it, because if you don't and you run it sequentially, it goes with the system clock, and it becomes a pattern. And you will see that.
Now, my question is, could the number be alterable in the game?
Yeah, everything. This is part of the scripts. Yes.
No, I understand the script, but would it be alterable depending upon what game you're in? Like, if you're in game, could you alter it while in the game?
Yes.
Sure.
You can do all kinds of things. There's I don't know the limits, but believe me, I'm gonna push it. Because I always do. But I am, huh?
We shall find out.
Oh no! We're not finding out tonight.
No, not
No.
tonight. Not tonight.
I had a headache last night. I didn't want to find out anything, and I really don't want to get a headache back.
Yeah.
So, not that I don't mind playing around with programming. That's not what I'm doing tonight.
Nope.
So, I'm going to talk about this for a moment, and the requirements for this. Now, I'm not entirely sold on this because when you look in here and you do a search for the word random, the field defines the product to be loaded for this leg of its journeys. If you place an X in the field, the car will be randomly loaded with whatever the car is set up to carry. Well, I mean, that's okay. Not necessarily what I would want to do. But, so the field defines... Oh, I see. If you place an X... Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. So X is a factor. I read up on this. So what you can do is you can actually put in the product, or you can have it randomly select whatever the car can carry. So that's not too bad. That wasn't the random, and then you got a random available driver will be assigned. So if no driver is selected, I think this has to do with the portal. Quick Portal Manager version 2, yeah. So you can do the rules. So you can have AI. Here's the gist of what I'm what I'm going to go, and I'm going to save you all because I've already looked through a lot of this last night. This is why I did not want to do a live stream, but I wanted to tell you guys that I am very active in this still. If I'm not feeling good or if I need sleep, fine, I'll take it. But I am very, very active right now in trying to figure out the next moves. Because from what I can tell, the system has potential. It's very powerful. It's much more powerful than RTS. However, that being said, I want to show you the beginning of this. So, what is new in System 4? Okay. So, I want to get to the point, of what this is. It's designed to simulate prototype freight traffic patterns and operations, provide each car on the route a series of destinations that represent freight car movements and prototype operations. The system supports small operations and brief sessions, or can be used for large route and multiple days of operations, where each day different consists will arrive on the route to simulate differences in traffic pattern and intensity. So what I'm gathering by that is, unlike how RTS would actually randomize the occurrence of certain number of the cars, you're basically set. You can set 7 days worth of traffic, and when it comes around, it will do it. You can implement it on a small route like we have to make it take an hour or two. For large routes and multi-day sessions, it's a labor intensive to get up running. So this is a time where I can really consider trying it. The system does not make use of the train's built-in waybill system. Interactive industries are not required. This system changes the flavor of trains from a simplistic computer game to complex prototype operations, allows you to pick up cars at industries and bring them to a yard where they can be sorted and made into trains and not lose track of where each car is supposed to go, much like what is found in the real world of trains. So far, so good. In here, it's like cars delivered. So when we click on what the car is delivered notifies the database of time delivered. It will be marked ready for pickup when the time has expired. So that's kind of cool. So when you deliver it, you're in your switch list, you click it, that it's delivered. Kind of cool. Add record to vehicle used when putting a car into service from an empty car storage track. That's cool. Technically, if you're the one choosing that, you could build in some randomness there, I suppose. Vehicle ready for pickup presents a list of vehicles and their locations that have completed their load unload. So find vehicles ready for pickup. Vehicle ready for pickup presents a list of vehicles and their locations that have completed load unload times. Clicking on the list vehicle name will take you to that vehicle. Switch list on off toggles window display single car on what camera is focused to display entire contents of train. So it says here is the heart of the system. The switch list window lists all the cars in the train, a string of cars where the cameras focus. The car in which the camera's focus is in bold type, shown on the reporting car, blah blah blah, loaded, unloaded, yeah, okay. Train's route requirements. To use the CMTM System 4, your route needs to be a TRS2010 or later route. You do not need to use portals, but if you do, I recommend PGuy's Quick Portal Manager version 3. I don't know which one we have.
We have Central Portal.
Okay,
Control.
So we have Central Portal Control to manage all your portals. Any portal that emits freight trains you want to be included into the CMTM system must be a CMTM portal.
But I think Quick Portal Manager V3 is outdated in comparison to.
It probably is, but I don't know. Any portal that hold on, relax. Any portal that emits freight trains you want to be included in the CMTM system must be a CMTM portal. If you're planning to have multiple day operations, you will also need to install rules. Quick Drive version 2. Global Consist Library version 2. I may have that. Consist Data Handler Rule version 2 to make full use of the multiple days feature. The CMTM system assumes that your route has at least one industry to service. If you have portals, they usually represent either a continuation of your railroad home road and interchange with other railroads, foreign roads. See Appendix A for a discussion of interchange operations. Your train's route can just have one industry on a railroad with a portal to the rest of the world, or a complete railroad with multiple towns and interchanges to foreign roads, or anything in between. Industries using the system do not have to be interactive. Any spot on the spur... Okay, so industries used in this system do not have to be interactive. Any spot on the spur sidetracking carry an industry destination freight. It is recommended that some types of structures should be placed at the location at all. Location can be readily recognized. A track mark must be placed at the destination location. This will make all industries visible on train's mini-map. The track mark name must match the name used in the CMTM database. Commodity-enabled cars. Freight cars used with CMTM are not required to be commodity-enabled, but it does make for a more realistic operation if they are. When commodities are loaded in a car, it makes for a heavier car and will change the train's dynamics. An SW switcher engine, okay. The CMTM system does not deal with commodities or the built-in waybill system. If you're using a CMTM system, the built-in commodities and waybill features should be completely ignored. Which is interesting. When I heard that, I thought, okay, I like commodities, but interfacing with freight cars, CMT uses 3 pieces of data found on each car's config.txt file. The first item is a category class. The category class code is standardized system for referring to the various types of assets, a complete listing, blah blah blah. It's in the appendix. The next 2 items are the reporting marks and the car numbers. As is writing over 1,200 of Magiceur's auto-numbered freight cars have these items in the config file. Other car makers are committed to including them in their creations. If you want to use cars that do not have these yet, you can add them to the car's config file extensions container. If your car does not have an extensions container, you can add it like this. So it tells you how to do it. So the CMTM system relies on the reporting mark tag to determine if a vehicle is a home road vehicle, blah, 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 blah. If the vehicle uses an automatic car numbering system, CMTM will display the number assigned for that car. That I like. So far, so good. CMTM system for overview. Stands for car movement and traffic management. The car movement portion of the system is what directs the flow of local traffic, advising a player the destination of any freight car. The traffic management portion determines the overall flow of through traffic. Through traffic is usually portal to portal traffic, but not always straight through, and some trains consider a route with 3 portals, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's actually very similar to our setup that I was originally going for. I was going for portal to portal and all this stuff. So anyways, consists of a database. The database is made up of records. Each record is defined in movements. The freight car, the data records, is attached to the car, and the data of the record is accessible, blah, 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 HTML. The database made up of car movement records is contained in the session's HTML asset config.test file extension container. Each line in the CMTM data soup that begins with the CMTM is a car movement record. Each record is made up of a data field, blah, blah, blah. The first 5 data fields line, okay. Each 4 fields clusters destination for the car. Although the first glance all the records look alike, there are 3 types of records: through records, local records, and ECS records. So the through records, by definition, those blah 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 first destination are through, used to manage a flow from portal to portal. Local record, these records have more than one destination. The first destination is ECS track. Our local records, these define the movements of cars that have at least one destination on your railroad. ECS record, those records whose beginning location is ECS are called, our empty car storage are called ECS records. These records will be manually added to car settings on an ECS track during the session. So you have to manually do it, which makes sense. You get to choose which cars you're going to add, so that's okay. Each record starts to the days field, which determines the days of the week the record will be active. The second field defines the beginning location. How records are assigned at startup. Now this is where I really need to understand this. This is the important part. When a session starts, the CMTM system assigns a record to each freight car on the route except those sitting on an ECS track. The cars not on the ECS track will be assigned either a local record or a through record. If you want a car to receive a local record, the car must be located on the track with a track mark, and that track mark must be listed in the extension table of the local track. This track mark name must also be listed in the record identified for the car in the train name location data field. Okay. How records are assigned when train is emitted from a portal. When a train arrives on the route via CMTM portal, every freight car in the train will be assigned a record. Only those records that list the portal as the beginning location will be used for the portal. The order of assignment is local records first, then through records, which makes sense because your local drop-off becomes part of the head end.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
What would happen though if you have two drop-offs?
Well,
For example, NS and CSX.
I don't know. We'll have to get to that. I'm not too worried about this. I'm very curious about this, though. There are 3 levels of restrictions for these assignments. The most restrictive search in a train name and a mission code listed in the Quick Portal Manager. See, I don't know much about mission codes. For these levels, both local and through records need to have the train name listed in train name track name field. The less restrictive level is assignment of the train name but no mission code listed in the portal control. The least restrictive is the name listed as X in the Quick Portal Manager. The records used for these trains will be those that do not have a train name in the train name track blah blah field. Okay. The most restrictive search is a train name and a mission code listed in Quick. For this level, both local and through have train name. The less restrictive level, the least restrictive. Okay, the less restrictive level. Well, crap. Train name listed in the train name. Blah blah blah. Portal controller for this level only. I've already read through all this, and I read through the entire thing, but I just want to make sure I understand it. The assignment process used by CTM cars are emitted local. This is where the category class is used to make sure the correct type of car is sent to the industry. This is also where the company tag comes into play. Some of the car movement records route empty home road and lease cars to an empty car storage track. In these cases, it's important to make sure the reporting mark is correct. You have no direct control over which record gets assigned to which car, other than that they are used in the order listed. Hold on a second. This is what I have to understand. And I really need to understand this because so you have no direct control over which record gets assigned to which car other than they are used in the order listed in the database and the records are matched according to the car type category class. Any car that meets the type can be used. That's confusing to me.
I know what it means. It means basically you're stuck in an order for your train. So it's always going to be the same.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Because it will be... It just has to meet the same type of car. Otherwise...
But it says you have no direct control over which record gets assigned. I see.
Except if you have it set up to have... so you either have it so that it doesn't have an industry selected. For example, you may have a gondola go to frickin' Oxyvinyl. Or you have it so that the train will always be in the same order. Will always have the same amount of cars.
Well, the train's going to have the same amount of cars regardless.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, like every time it will be the same cars. Like the same amount of cars.
Well, you can change it the different days. Monday, Tuesday. You have Monday records,
Yeah, but
Tuesday
then you
records.
only have 7 different. You only
Yeah,
have
I
7
know,
different
and that's
days.
what I'm afraid of.
Unless you can do more than a week worth of.
No, you can't.
You can't. Okay, then it's just not worth it.
Well, I'm not saying it's not worth it. You gotta remember something too. Depending upon how accessible this database is, I might be able to screw around with it.
It's possible, but there's most likely a reason why you're not allowed to randomize it. It's probably because it's impossible via the code. That's the only reason why I'd see why they would do that.
No. What happens is if it's going off a text file. If let's say this database is on a text file,
Yeah.
okay? Just like I used to do in Run 8, I changed the text file.
Correct.
If I can do that, say this is incapable of doing it, and I know I can do it,
Correct.
I will put the randomizers in there. So I'll shuffle the deck
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
Yeah. Like not like, but you have to have like a ratio so that you can have a.
Well, there is ratios in this. This is so each local record is assigned only once for each day. It is valid. Each local record is assigned only once for each day. It is valid. If the record contains a train name, that local record will be used once only for the train that has a matching name. Once all the appropriate local records have been assigned to the available cars once all the appropriate local records have been assigned to the available cars in the emitted train, each of the remaining cars are assigned a through record. If you have a 20-car train emitted from a portal and 4 of the cars meet the criteria needed to make a local record for emitted, the remaining cars are assigned to through. So you see what I mean? You have a 20. You cannot change the number of cars except on days.
Yeah.
So the remaining cars are assigned through records. Now, what's interesting is I'm curious if I know it's a CMTM portal, but you know how we're randomizing things. I'm wondering if that could change it.
I'm not sure.
So through records for emitting portal, the remaining cars are assigned through records for the portal. These through records are used repeatedly, train after train.
That gives me an idea.
If a train has a mission code other than X, only through records with the train name will be assigned, and these through records will not be used for any other trains.
That gives me an idea.
What?
Now, it's not exactly what this is made for, but is the hump considered an industry? Because if it is, that would mean that you could be able to hump the train with the cars having the place, but still it wouldn't be random the number of cars.
It can.
And you could add in extra cars.
It can.
And stuff.
First of all, the CMTM is capable of automating the hump.
If that is the case, then you could have like multiple trains spawn in that could have different numbers, or like a chance of one train spawning in that has a certain amount of numbers. You'd have to have different You'd have to have a lot of different variations of trains.
I know.
That would be the problem with it. But you'd have it so that one train can spawn in, only one train does.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many different trains that it will always be random.
The only place I know, place I know that directly as a player I can control the randomization is the ESC.
Yeah.
So let's say somehow I decide which cars are going to be assigned in the ESC. Then there's a lot of interesting things that can happen there. For example, Oxyvinyl can have an ESC.
Oh yeah.
Of those hoppers.
Yeah.
Because it has the room. And that's where I would want to try it. So what it would do then is it would assign that record. Now the problem with that is it's not really random.
Yeah, it's still not random.
It's still not random.
It's too predictable.
That's why.
I mean, let's think about the possibilities. If you were to have,
I don't want to download it yet.
no,
I don't want to get distracted on this until I learn more, because I'm looking into it.
There's probably
So-
a tutorial somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I've been trying to find it. Believe me. Will run continuously day after day as long as you want to run. Sessions may be saved and restarted exactly where you left off, which is cool. Does not plan your operations. That is up to you. I discussed some operations on page 18. Traffic management. But here, okay, now we look at the traffic management portion of the system. This involves through traffic. Through traffic arrives on the route via a portal and leaves via another portal with no delivery to a local industry. To start this process, the traffic plan needs to be formulated. Here's an example of a route that has east to west main line with a branch line headed south. The route also interchanges traffic with the CNW and the CGW. The following percentages are for through traffic and does not include traffic to local industries. Trains from the west. 70% of the cars go to Portal East, 20% to Portal South, 5% to CJ, and 5% to this. Blah, 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 blah. These traffic patterns are created by entering the appropriate number of records into the movement record spreadsheet that reflects these ratios. To maintain these ratios for 7 days of the week, create the following records with all days selected. For the West portal, make 20 records with the... Oh, okay, see? This is where if I can create something that uses this system, which is very powerful, and all I have to do is play around with the order of that data in the records,
You could probably
and I can overwrite it. Boom, I'm in. Because then I'm changing the records. I'm changing the records that it's calling for day by day. In fact, I can do 7 days worth of data. I used to do that for RTS.
Yeah.
I used to do 7 days worth of data.
Because I remember us trying to do that once.
Yeah, we did.
Because I remember it. Definitely, I do.
So if and that's the thing. So once a week, which would actually be it'd be every 7 weeks would be, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to run one whole day a week.
Yeah.
So 24 hours a week. So what can happen there is I'm able to play around and get through that. But you got to go up in a few minutes.
I gotta go up in 4 minutes.
Yeah. So. Hey guys. I see his IP plain as day. Okay, cool. Yeah, but you see it on YouTube, or do you see it on the forum? I'm just curious. I want to know if you can see it on the forum. I know obviously you can see it because I'm showing it on YouTube, but I assume you can see it in the forum, so which is fine. It's not a big deal, but and if it is, well, I'll put the disclaimer somewhere in there. But this is so how's it going, Scott? So I don't know if you caught on to all this, Scott, or in Quincy. You guys know the RTS stuff. By the sounds of it, this to me it's powerful, but it's also limited.
Yeah.
And it's the limited portion that I'm not... I don't even know how compatible it is to 19. Because things have a tendency...
It may not even be compatible at all.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. And I honestly, before I go diving into that, I want to probably put the post up onto the forum, and we'll see what kind of responses I get. I'll take a look. I'm going to do a little bit more research. I'm not going to worry about doing the research tonight. I have no idea what I want to focus on now. But anyways, because I was already in there. Whoops. I was gonna try it out, to be quite honest, but I don't think I'm ready to try that out yet.
Yeah.
But this is when you do a search for CMTM. There's some roots that have it. There's versions, so it's System 4. There's some samples in there, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of stuff. Now, the cool thing is, this is what I already have. The hump tower module is car movement and traffic management compatible. The only thing is, I really don't... as far as I can tell, all that does is just... at the very least... The only thing I can think of that might be interesting there is I might be able to decide in Toronto and do because remember I said when you're selecting an empty car that's available, that's a manual process.
Yeah.
So if I have some randomization routine at that point, then at
Maybe
least
semi-random.
yeah.
Which would be okay. I mean, it's not fully random.
No. It is random because I can have an external random program that would actually decide which cars to pull for what industries.
Correct.
And throw it in there. And I also would not, in that case, I would not use the portals for. I wouldn't be using the portals for the through traffic. I would actually be controlling what I want it to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I could build the train in Toronto like I wanted to.
Yeah.
I could use the hump.
Yeah.
And then possibly I can use the system as a backdrop to control the switch list and have everything that I want with it.
Yeah.
Like I already have Car Tagger. Car Tagger's fine, but this would automate it.
Yeah, that would automate it.
Because now all I'm doing is I'm pulling an empty pool, or I'm going to pull so many cars and load them at various industries.
Yeah.
And then I can block. I have 8. I can double the hump. I can cross over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Use a double crossover and have a bunch ready.
Yeah.
To bring down. Build the train as if I was going to build a 421 like I wanted to. And I could do it that way instead. Originally I was going to, and the other ways I can do it is to bring cars into it gets interesting because if I bring it in from a portal, then but the thing is there's random abilities of some of these portals, but it has to be a CMTM portal. I don't know what the hell that all means, but
it probably
you gotta go up, buddy.
With,
yeah, I know.
Compatibility or something.
It's yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to dig some people's brains on this. Just give me a few minutes, guys. Mr. One Sock here. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, ow.
Sorry.
Remember, I got the canker sore still. That
Sorry.
hurts.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
See ya.
Is there a light on for you?
No.
Go ahead. I'll keep it open.
Okay, bye.
Bye, buddy. Be right there, guys. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it. All right. Okay, that can go with me. All right. So let's get back into it here. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do now. I got some time and I would really want to do something. But yeah, this is why I was doing the research, because I was kind of stuck. What happened was, just to explain what some of the research in the area that I have done. So I think I mentioned this the other night, but I'll go over this again. So what's happening is train 421 is now being because so with the whole pandemic thingamajiggy and the economy, what I assume has happened. First of all, there has been some Niagara trains that have been canceled. 531, which I believe used to be the Port Colborne Harbor switcher, has been canceled. So now they have one job that runs in the afternoon, which is the one I followed the other day. I forget the numbers. I documented it all the other night, so I will write them down so I can remember them. I think it's 5:39 was an evening one that I found out about, and I chased him on Sunday night, and that's what was the light power that I had in a video that I shot. I got more videos coming. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to upload another episode, because I have probably about 3 or 4 episodes of this trip on Sunday night. Today was supposed to be episode 2, but it just decided not to run. So what happens is the first part of the day, first part of the afternoon, I guess they make 2 trips to the States right now, and which surprised me, but I guess they're doing that so that they can pick up some more transfer traffic in the intermodal. I think they're both going to Frontier. NS does their transfer on the afternoon trick, and but what's happening? Okay, so getting back to why certain trains have been canceled. Obviously, the sizes of the trains have come down quite a bit. They're almost half. There's no auto traffic right now. That's been totally eliminated. So you don't see the auto parts going. You don't see the auto part loads going towards Toronto, and you don't see the auto part empties coming back, and you don't see the auto racks. So that's a big part of the train. But then there's other industries that are probably suffering as well, either shut down or not running as strong as they were. So there's been a lot of trains in the entire system, especially when you take away the auto traffic and you take away various industries. You end up getting a cancellation of a lot of mainline trains. So Toronto Macmillan Yard, Mac Yard for short, they always call it, but Macmillan Yard in Toronto is the big hump for CN. And what I see them doing now is, because they don't have as many trains, they don't have as much blocking required by blocking out various trains. So now we have some vacancies. What used to happen, from what I could tell, is we used to have cars come in from Toronto, and you would get a lift in Hamilton at the front end. What they're doing is the lift from Hamilton's still coming, and I think it gets switched out usually in the afternoon or later in the day if they have time. But basically what they do is they are now blocking the NS portion and the CSX portion and the local portion. So they've gone from, I don't think they did it before, I think it was all it was relatively similar in structure, but I don't think it was blocked, at least not to my knowledge. So there's less switching that's involved, or less sorting that's involved, which is kind of a good thing, because I don't like switching every single car if I don't have to. But at the same time, it gives you more variety too, because what that ends up meaning is that I could expand the route considerably if I want to, and make it more interesting. I really wanted to have a hump. not because I want to include it as a scenic thing, but I've always enjoyed the hump in Run 8, for example. And I really wanted to include it. I really like the idea of staging Toronto at night. Right now, that's kind of gone out the window. Now, I still might be able to do it in this system. I got to look into it. So I'm going to post that to the forum probably, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point I'm going to be posting that to the forum. And basically I want to find out, you know, what can be done. Can I actually use this system and still have some randomization put into it? Or is it even possible for me to program something that can use the power of it, but bring it into play? If I don't have to reinvent the wheel by trying to do what this software does, which is quite a bit, then all I have to do is play with the data. If I can generate the data, I'm there. Especially if it's a scrambler, like a random scrambler of some sort. So, you know, when they're talking about setting up the spreadsheet to be 30% and 70% and all this other stuff, if I can do something like that, especially if I only have to do it once every 7 weeks, and I have to do some massaging of the data and resaving and a few other things and maybe some structure, once every 7 actual weeks for me to go in there and create 7 new days of traffic, that's gonna be awesome. Then I can go in and I will literally not know what it's going to be like every time I go through it, which is cool. I kind of like it that way. Not to mention, I like the idea of being able to hump the train, being able to do various other activities. It kind of gives you more things to do, say on a Sunday night or whatever, or a Monday, while I'm catching up and getting towards the day of the switching and all that other stuff. But the other thing is, now that I have that in mind, I really don't have that much to do. So Port Robinson is not as busy as it once was. So now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, if Port Robinson isn't that busy, then I can make myself busier very quickly. And the best way to do that is basically create more main line and possibly extend the line all the way to Fort Erie. Or at the very least, extend the line possibly Southern Yard, possibly at least get the junction in there for Trillium, Port Colborne Harbor, get that in play. Maybe put a staging on the other side, and, you know, instead of doing the CP line of things, I could at least include that, which would also include some random variations of trains coming out of it, so I can actually have CP trains coming from both ends randomly, which would be kind of cool. And you know, that'll give a little bit more interaction of the game, I would think, and then that'd be kind of cool, I think. So I might do that. In 421 and 422, I'd have total control, being Port Robinson, to not use the same track at the same time. Anyways, let me bite down on this. So, but I don't know the answers to this, unfortunately, because from what I can see here, this is telling you how you would set up a pattern, and then you just do it. So, which is fine, but so if you guys are, whoever is here, whoever posted that message, I'm very curious. Let me just put this in here. So yeah, just like that, I'm gonna put that in there, and we'll see. See if I get more information on that. I don't know why that did that. I somehow had a line in there, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the form for now. Oh boy, what do I want to do? This is the tough part now. Well, do I want to continue to expand? I can get the elevation up at the very least. After that, all that work in Toronto, hopefully I can still use it. All right, so in order to get that going, as you can see over here, I've got the canal laid out. That's at the proper, the actual proper. I tried a different waters there, just to see what it was like, but. So what I can do is I've been meaning to possibly change this signal, or at least maybe that's what I'll do is I'll fix the signals. How about that tonight? Let's do that. Some of the signals work pretty good, others don't. And I don't need all these blocks, I found out. I could probably delete them. But what I can do here, these are actually signal bridges. And then this guy over here is actually on the left-hand side. Which means I'd have to find a different signal, I guess. But I mean, there's a lot of things I could do. I could paint. I can get the elevation up. This is where I was hanging out in the car the other day in one of the videos. So I'm just sitting on this road here. Of course, I got trees in the way, so I have to. You're looking through them to see what the hell everything's going on. This is what they call the team track. They usually park power on it. The other one is the plant. I was starting to work on that, and then I didn't get much further with it. So you got the tank farm here, the loaders. This is where the monomer comes in. You can see it's connected through the pipes, and they got a loader over here somewhere. think it ends right there. I'm pretty sure it does. It's just enough to get the engine going around. The switcher sits there. I like that. There's like a little twin tank thingamajiggy there. Looks like they have some hoppers in there too, but that's okay. This is all hoppers. Link up all the tracks. And there's more industry this way. Side tech is over on the other side. So this is the other loader right here. Yep. And he's usually, that's exactly what they usually look like. They usually have, don't they have 5 cars in there? I can't remember. I've seen them with 5 cars, I think. I think lately they've had 5 cars. So there's a lot of different stuff there, or maybe we can just get the track layout going, finish the yard up. That would be a pretty good idea, I think. Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of that. When I move the track, yeah. Okay. It's actually got the thing on the side here, so it's tough to see. I think that's pretty good. Or is this hard to see? Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not too worried about, as long as it's roughly the same. That's all I care about. So let's go into advanced here, and we'll start inserting spline points. Something happened that I didn't like. Hmm. My son's always better at this than I am. Actually, I think it's okay. Let me just see about that. Oops, that didn't work out. Control Z. Didn't want to connect, huh? Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Go back into deleting this. Okay, so what I want to do here now is I want to delete this right. Now I wonder why it doesn't throw the switch in there. No, that's not what I want. Okay, I screwed something up here. I'll figure it out. All right. So let me try putting it in first and see what happens. I think we're okay now. Oops, I don't want that. Okay, let's see if this works now. No, I lost it again. Let's see if this can work this way. First, I want to straighten this out. All right. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. That's not too bad. Okay. All right. I think that yard's good. So many cars are in here anyways, I'm just curious. Curious what it holds approximately. So about 28 hoppers maybe, give or take. Okay. Now, do I have... Yeah, I do have a flat section under there. That's good. Gonna need that. Why is that thing get bright? There we go. I'm satisfied with that. Okay. Ah. Ah, gotta hold shift down. My son would be yelling at me, yeah, hold shift. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Nope, didn't want to do that. I think we'll go with that. I don't know how much room I have. If that's just for, I have no idea. I'll have to take a look at the maps later. But... Okay, now the question is, do I want to end all those tracks? First of all, I'm going to put in... I'll put that in, that in, that in. As our end of tracks, I'll put another one in over here. And then, actually I'll add the track first. I know the yards are there. I'm tempted to eventually get into them. So this is what fascinates me about that program. In theory, what I can do is I could just all of a sudden get a bunch of a whole whack of empties and bring them over to replenish the supply, because from what I've been seeing, at least on the weekend, these things were generating maybe only 1 or 2 cars per day. This thing, I was watching it, and it's these trackmobiles are automated. At least they're semi-automated or remote or whatever the hell you want to call it. I think the guy in here controls it. Nobody's in there when it's running. It's got flashing red lights, all kinds of stuff on it. And so, you know, they'll be loading it or whatever. There's a pipe, so you can't see it loading. I thought I physically could see it, but and then I think what it does is I think it pulls it back towards this way. It might push it this way. I can't remember, but I'll have to watch it some more. But as long as it goes one way, this guy here is their switcher. I can't remember the model now. It's I think it's a 1500. I can use the IORY engine. Oh, here he is right here. So he actually looks very close to the colors. So I'm going to probably put the IORY engine in there to act as the switcher. So basically he's getting in there, you know, pulling out cars or whatever, and adding. I don't know how much monomer it takes to load some of these places, but whatever. You can get into complex industries too, where they can actually play into it, which kind of, you know, I wouldn't mind trying to get into some of that, but I don't know how long it takes to physically load one of these hoppers, center flow hoppers for plastic pellets. But they, you know, with the way social distancing is, maybe they're not running the same amount of people, all this other stuff. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Okay. So let me get crap. Let me get at least the tank industries done. I'm not going to worry about the yards so much. Looks like the road cross is there. So the switch would be there. Actually, I'll go here. The hell happened there? Just all of a sudden moved on me. Oh, I didn't think it was that close. I guess it is. Were you kidding me? Rough. All right. Oh, that's just like that. It's nice and quick. I can find all kinds of goodies to, you know, load up the industry, put some details to it. Again, I'm not too worried about the operation yet, because we got a long way to go to try to figure that out. But so for now, the yard will be simple enough. I just want to get functionality at least started, so that is a good first step as far as getting that going. Now, I was talking about doing the signals. Kind of would like to do that as well. Maybe I can give Scott some inspiration here. Anyways, I'm going to take a quick break for a second here. They are I think they're joining rail. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Okay. Well, there's another signal bridge that I prefer to use because those aren't the actual ones. So, the dilemma that I have is that's not what they actually are. Now, the signals that are actually used, I like those signals. I think they're really good. They have a lot of benefit, but I will show you. When we go into the area at hand here, we go into, we'll actually go into Street View here. I'll show you what I mean. So, wow, what the hell? Okay. You can see this is what those signals are. Not only that, but they're on the left-hand side. So I have the searchlights. They're not really the CROR ones, but what that does is gives me a bit of a dilemma because I want to have that. They're also not centered. I know to these cantilever canopy or signals or whatever the hell you call those damn things. I can't remember. But they're used at the same one on this side as well. And again, whoops, I don't want to go down here. This is where I usually hang out. This is where I was hanging out with the yeah. Okay. Can't quite get it, but yeah, so it's to the right of it. Now, reason why I wanted to show that, well, actually, let's see what the other one is like, because I think they're all the same in this area. I'm pretty certain. Well, it's right down there, but unfortunately I don't get a pretty good view of it. I can't remember what's on what track here. I think that's their signal, but I'm not sure on that. I know Allenberg's over here. So Allenberg's on this side. So let me just so yeah, Allenberg's okay. That works just fine. And yeah, these are on the right hand side of the tracks. I can't tell what that is exactly. But anyways, we go down a little bit further down Barron Road. This is the latest video that came up on my site. I was going down here. Now, of course, it didn't look as good, but it was definitely on Barron Road. Did I go by the tracks already? I don't think so. This takes me forever to get to it. Oh, okay, here we go. I was wondering. So yeah, when we get over to Allen port here. Yeah, once again, it's using these kind of signals. So you got a nice triple light here, but then you've got the cantilever. So I'm thinking about changing them. Problem is I can't get that signal bridge on that. I'll show you what I mean. So the signal bridge that I've been using, I started using in Toronto staging. I think I used it over here. Oh no, I didn't. Don't I have it? I think I have it somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So this is the signal bridge that. Now, of course, it's not perfect either. Although, I mean, because one it's over the track, and two, it uses the color lights. Now, the cool thing about these though is that I can go left-hand side, right-hand side, whereas I can't. So I like these. They work really nice. I even think you can rotate them if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one, but which would be similar to the other ones. So over here I tried just the singles and went with that one. I like these. They look a little bit different, but they're pretty close. So I mean, I do want to do the searchlights. It's just trying to find the right searchlight bridge that would go to that. So I've been using this as an alternative. I tried bringing it back to this. Now the cool thing about this is you can stretch it anywhere you want. You can put there's a 4-track, 3-track, 2-track signal bridge. So if I go into my search, and you can see I have a 4-track, a 3-track, but and where's the one? Invisible speed, invisible. Did I take them all out for the JRs and then I didn't put them back in? I'll have to change that because I want them back. So if I get this asset here, is it this one? Yeah. Oh, here it is, right here. I think that's it. No, that ain't it. Oh, I gotta go to the building. So if I get that asset there, this is the SafeTran 2-track 3-head signal gantry. They got 2-track 1-head ones, which I've never really seen. What the heck's that look like? Oh, 3 tracks. Okay, no, I don't like that. So they got 3-track 3-head ones as well. Or wait, no, that's that one. Wow, that thing's a beast. So I don't know what's what here. Now you can use this separation. I don't know if that separation is going to work for mine. It may or may not. That's the thing. But you don't have to use these. You don't have to attach it to it. So that's just optional. So the what is it? 2-track 3-head. So I can put that one in there. Then I can put the SafeTrend 2-track 3-head signal gantry. Oops, helps if I get it. So one just has the gantry. The problem with the gantries are I mean, that's okay. One, it doesn't look like this. It certainly does not look like this. But it looks close to that. That's a little bit far away, but anyways, yeah, it comes across like that. And this one, and the cool thing about these is the heads are turned towards each way. It's really a nice signal. Probably got a better whoops. If I go right into Port Robinson, that'll probably give me my best. This will give me my best views of it, probably. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. It's got a nice design to it. It's just got a cross beam here, and it's got a fit. It's kind of weird because if I put those signals on and they're over on the heads, they wind up showing up at a certain location anyways. I can't explain that any further. When you put it up, it just goes to a certain location and that's it. But yeah, no, another view of it here from the other side. It's hard to see on that the trees are kind of, but I like those. I mean, you got the ladder on the one side and then the signals signal support, so I think that's how it works. So it looks a lot different. Oh, give me a break. So I like that. I do like those classic ones, but at the same time, I would want to have a nice representation of how the gantries work in CN. But I've got these signs; they work fine. So, but yeah, when you start getting into the signals now, if I go to okay, that's a JR signal. No, center. Never mind that. Signal bridge. Let me go into the actual signal itself. 2-head dwarf. No. Bridge 20-footer. I don't think. Okay, so that's okay. See, that's attached to the track now. you can see how the signal doesn't quite make it for that. Actually, it would be going through the other way here. I think I can move it up, but I'm not too sure. I forget the move up, move down command. I know there's ways of getting it to do that, but let me go back to this for a minute. No, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, see, I don't like that. I mean, I like the signal and all, but whereas the other ones, these lights will attach right to them. So they do a pretty good job. I don't know if I can get it to that one. Let me just see here. For some reason, I thought it looked better on this one. See, and I can actually, well, see, I can't throw it off because then it insists on where it's going to be. Although I might be able to, now that I think about it. Let's see if I can get it to go where I want it to go. That'd be nice. I mean, it's not bad, but it just doesn't look right. Whereas those do look right. Those are made for that. Oh, that's a center one. Okay. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, you have the left... We do have the left ones? Oh, crap. I didn't know we had the left one. At least I can do that. So there was a left one I could have used in Port Robinson. Oh, okay. So I mean, that's really what I'm up against. Let me just go through all these here. Okay, I think we're good. So I can use a left signal, at the very least. So that's kind of cool. Which would work nicely for here at least. So I can put that in. Instead of using that, I can definitely do that. Okay. So if I go with the left 20-footer, oh, that's better. So yeah, if I'm gonna put up with that, which I could, there's no reason why I you know, technically it's actually like this and that, but I mean it works. And then I could use the left instead. I didn't think the left was available because I was looking around for it, but down here I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I even have a signal, but whatever. I'm not worried about those. So what I want to make sure is if my signals are lined up properly. Yeah, not too bad. All $15, and there's all kinds of jointed rail stuff that came in with it. So, but I have seen the jointed rail site, and I don't know if there's more free stuff available on there or not that I might be able to take advantage of. They certainly have payware, and at some point I might get into that. We'll see. Tricky thing because when you want to make a route available and then you want to get into payware, I mean, I would probably get into payware rolling stock and stuff like that if I was to do it, but so yeah, okay, I was gonna let me set up these signals now. So we got the left hand side signal, that's good. So let's just make sure we've got it, whoops, that we've got the signal going the way we want it. Okay, so that right away is wrong. So it's a right switch. This is a medium, it's not a limited, so show advanced approach aspect. I'd rather not for that particular signal. I don't think I need it. Can display restricted speed, yeah, or restricted aspect. The problem is it never does. So I'm just gonna let it slide like that. And then over on, well, let's get this one going here. I do want it. I wish I could get the restricted signals showing up for these things, but so far it's been difficult. Okay, so left. Hold on, I gotta see this here for a second. Oh, I forgot to include one. Hang on a second here. I gotta get this right. I've got a right switch and I've got a left switch to deal with. So that's a right switch and then a left switch. Okay, that's good. And for you, we have got left switch, right switch, left switch. Right? Yeah, I think I got it right. Switch, right switch, left switch. Left switch. Right switch. Left switch. I don't want to show the advanced approach. I changed my mind. Left switch. Right switch. Left switch. Oops. I'll do it for this way because there's a small small signal. When there's a small block at the end of the next one, then I like using it, but okay. Left, right. Ooh, that's a left, right, right. Or is it? No, it isn't. It's just a left and a right. The other one's a manual switch. So a left and a right. And I wish it could display restricting. I'll keep it in there for the hell of it, but it doesn't. I wish it would. Question mark for this one. Right switch. Okay, this one's got the 3. So we've got left switch, right switch, left switch, left switch, right switch, left switch, advanced. Oh, did I put the? Oh no! You can't do show advanced. Yeah, I want it to show advanced. I don't know why I did that. For those I do, for sure. Going that direction, for sure. The other way, no. Did I do these ones? I can't remember. Yeah, I did. Okay. Overwrite existing session, do not save. Alright. Oh, I forgot to add something. Definitely need to add something here. Just so that I can get myself some proper signals, because I'll need something. Blah. So invisible signal track ends, actually. We will put here. And yeah, and I'll put one in the scale track. Okay. And yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow down here. We'll end you. Probably get rid of those other ones too, those dummy signals. And there's a portal, so I don't have to worry about that. I guess over this way I will put an end of track marker. I think I already have for a few of these things. Yeah, I did that one, I remember that. I think I did for the others too, but yeah, well, I will for that and that. And I've done it for that. Yeah, I did it for that. Did I do it for this? Nope. Okay, you're in now. Okay, now we'll save it. Overwrite the root. Do not save the session. While I'm at it, I get to try out my new track. So that'll be cool. I don't know what I was waiting for. Don't save. So yeah, we'll go into here. I want to start down here. I could. I could. No. We'll start here. Oh, that's some of the water I was playing around with, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, the drivable super adapter base. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's apparently how I get my static ships to drive. Alright, so I guess we'll go on the main first. After I finish testing these, I think I'll call it the night. That way I can post a message. Did I even put it on this signal? I bet you I didn't. I bet you I didn't do this signal. No, I got it medium. I got it screwed up. Here, let me get out of that and change that. Exit driver, don't save. I gotta fix that. I think that's a limited switch to out and thing. Select route. Let me fix that. I know I said I wasn't gonna worry about it, but I do want to worry about it now. Where are you here? Oh, that's your industry. That's the industries. Okay. Yeah, man. Thank you. Okay, so let's get this right. Oh, crap. So it's a right switch. And it's limited. I don't care about advanced approach on it. Okay, and I don't think I have a signal going the other way for whatever reason. Okay, I think I'm fine now. Let's try that again. I know I can go right into it if I want to do a quick drive or whatever, but I prefer to always go back this way. So hopefully I'll have some answers tomorrow. Much better. Tell lack of sleep is catching up to me now. I forgot to flick the switch. So obviously I'm looking at the signal detail. I'll start getting into some of the more scenic details. My son loves doing that stuff. Okay, let's see what we can get here. We should be getting a limited. Hey, wait, yeah, we do. Awesome. That's what we want. Okay, I can't tell the light. Looks like we have a medium. So I'll be curious to see what kind of signals I can get if I'm lined up. Whew. Oh, that's the put. Okay, that's an okay switch. That's by rights it should be restricting going into that side as well. But instead it's giving me a medium to stop, treating that red flag as the end. You know, like I said, it's not the end of the world. If I flick this switch, I get a red signal. Now, let's see how far I can take that, though. So let's go this way. Let's go here. Aha! See what I just did there. That should also give me a medium. Oh, what did that give me? That's an interesting one. Oh yeah, it's a straight ahead. It's a straight ahead shot. That's why. Or is it? Yeah, it is, because that's the switch coming out of here. Okay. So in other words, if I have this lined up, as long as I have it lined through to something, then it'll give me a signal. And for that, it's giving me a medium. But let's... I showed you guys. I think you guys have seen these. Those are cool. I love those. Those are nicely done. Alright, let's see what we got now. Yep. Approach medium, yeah. By rights, it still should be restricting, but it is what it is. So for that, I want to... No, keep that there. Now I want to go on the hotline. And that gives me a medium to stop. Okay. So if I was to go on the hot track and I put myself all the way to... Well, it's interesting going on the hot track. Hang on a second here. So I'm on the hot track and I want to put myself over here. What does this give me? Should give me what I want. Looks like a medium to limited. I could be wrong on that one, but let's see what we got here. That looks like more like a limited to medium. And if I have that, that should be a flashing yellow in the middle. Limited to stop. And what do we got? Yep. Okay. So now what do we get? Curious. So that gives us an approach limited. Which is cool. If I was to go onto a hotter track, let's see what we get here. Let's go down this... Oh, I can't that way. Okay, let's... Well, anyways, I think they're working. So that's all I wanted, to make sure they were working, but... Thing's very close. Sorry, that track's messy. Yeah, straighten up all those tracks. Oh, crap. Try to remember that someday. Yeah, I forgot that was the crossing. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. And everything else is pretty much there, so. But anyways, I'm gonna end it there. I'm getting tired. I gotta post a message real quick, so I'm gonna call it the night. Nice to get the extra track in, so have a good night, guys. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not trying to can't remember what time I'll be back, but should be in the early evening, I would think. But don't quote me on that one. But it's either going to be early evening or the later parts of the evening. Hopefully, I'll get some answers before I come on, so I know which direction to go. But for now, that's it. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Take care, guys.